If I ask you right now to pick the SR-71 flashlight out of these two, just don't think about it. You'd of course pick the little brass one because you know right away that the other one is an Army Tech Predator, even though it looks like a stealth airplane. Good eye flashlight, bro. Continuing the trend of the flashlight industrial complex and making small flashlights out of metal other than aluminum to sell more to you, the Blackwater SR-71 is just like a regular bright EDC light, but it's brass. The SR-71 is a triple XPG2 emitter, tiny high output flashlight capable of 1,000 lumens or so, recharged by USB and powered from a 16340 or 16340 size lithium ion battery. You know, that's also brass. But it comes in two other delicious flavors like aluminum and titanium, and of course titanium is more expensive. In the box you get a 16340 battery, the light, an amazing manual, a lanyard, and okay, that's about it. So here are the dimensions so you can see how pocketable it is, and the weight. Expect the aluminum and titanium versions to be much lighter. Let's see, so I found flat top cells didn't work well in this light because of the USB charging board in there, and stuck with the button top included. Anyway, my tests are all performed with the included Blackwater cell. The SR-71 has 6 output modes. 2, of course, are strobes, and 4 have regular steady light. My figures and Blackwaters are on the screen. First is low. Then is mid. Then is high. And then is turbo. Then there's SOS and tactical strobe. Okay, so how about that UI? So the battery's in it. And remember, this light has an electronic switch, so remove the battery when not in use for extended periods of time, or if you don't want it to turn on in your bag. Because it's all brass, there is no mechanical lockout mode. Also, the first thing to note is you always have to go through momentary burst turbo mode, and I personally like going through low myself if I'm forced to do anything that a flashlight forces me to do. So the light has mode memory, and after you get past that burst, you get to the last mode you used, except for strobe. Quick presses of the button scroll through the modes from the lowest to the highest. A long press turns it off. Now for the last mode you use to be saved into mode memory, you will need to be on that mode for a full 5 seconds. To get to any of the strobes at any time, from on or off, double click to get to fast blink strobe. It always comes on in fast blink strobe first, and press and hold to get to SOS. To exit strobe, you can do a single click to exit whatever you were on last, including off, or press and hold after SOS to turn it off. And again, there's the momentary turbo, and as long as you hold it for less than 2 seconds, you can, I guess, do quick flashes of light. Anyway, charging. My unit didn't seem to want to charge past 3.5 volts from a voltage of 2.5, a starting voltage of 2.5. But that's okay, because if you already have a lithium ion powered flashlight, you should hopefully have one or several chargers laying around the house already, right? I prefer charging separately anyway and rarely use integrated chargers. I like voltage readouts, and I don't trust flashlights to give me the proper voltage readout, no matter what the brand. But you can charge the light via micro USB and unscrew the head to plug in the cable. Red means it's charging and green means it's done charging. Now the run times. 30 seconds in, I measure 1001 lumens on turbo. You get a big step down at about 3 minutes in, where I measured it levels off at 421 lumens. Then you get good solid light for about 30 minutes and begins to dim until I quit the test. I'd say it's good practice to charge batteries after the start of a major dimming. Lights this small use small capacity batteries, so any light putting out this many lumens should be expected to have short run times on higher modes. Duh. Now we get high. As long as you like burned out jokes, so do I, until people get really irritated at them. You get nearly an hour of good light before the big dim. Again, charging is recommended when the light hits the big dim. It helps preserve lithium-ion battery life. All tests performed had a final battery voltage reading of about 2.5 volts, which leads me to believe the light has protection built into it. Maybe the cell does too. It doesn't look like it does, but it could, and I've been wrong before about that. If you always charge at the big dim, you'll be good, and you always treat a light like it has no protection built in, and you charge at the big dims, then you're good. Okay, now the beam shots. Here are the lights I'll be testing the SR-71 against. The Astra Lux S41/Manker E14, the Kronos X6, and the Zebralight SC600W Mark III High. A wasp attacked me during the beam shots, so these were the lights I got to before that happened. It was actually going to be longer. Cool, the SR-71. It's a tiny bright light putting out a ton of light. Like all of these lights do. These are all bright lights. It puts out diffuse scatter light, which is a great beam pattern for everyday carry. Next is the S41, a more neutral tinted light and brighter. Both are roughly the same size. So yeah, back to the SR-71 for a second. Now onto the Astra Lux X5, also a brighter light, but it has a larger reflector, so it throws better and has a more defined beam pattern, as you can tell here. This is a light for longer distances, but it's also kind of small. So back to the SR-71 for a second. Cool. Now finally the Zebralight, my everyday carry light of choice. It's throwier and has a more neutral tint, as you can see here. It's not as scattered as the SR-71, or diffused I guess is the correct word. Anyway, okay, moving on and wrapping up. The appeal of this light is the brass, I think, and its brightness for how tiny it is. It's about 1,000 lumen light and half to a third the size as other lights that used to put out that amount. Plus it's brass. The machining is great on it. The tail cap goes on easy and smoothly because of the big threads. I wish more lights were machined like this. The head is also similarly machined. It's heavy and it feels very well made. It should take on an interesting patina throughout the years too. The tail cap has a lanyard hole, or it's removable in case you tail stand your light often for hot candle action. Also, that hole is a standard photo tripod mount, so you can hook it up to a tripod for whatever reason. It's waterproof to IPX8 standards, so it's good in the rain or elements, and my camera and eyes detected no visible PWM on any of the constant output levels. Sometimes strobes have PWM that's hidden. This light was provided by Banggood for review. If you like this video, watch my other videos, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment or question, because these things all matter in search engine orientation. And also, I actually like talking to you guys. Thanks for watching. I mean it.